Hi, my name is Lori and I am here to do my first scrapbook process video. So please bear with me as I try to get my camera and lighting and everything just right, and any suggestions in the comment section would be great. I'm not quite sure how fast you usually speed up videos and things like that, so I would love any suggestions you may have. So I'm going to start today with the Love Notes collection by We Are Memory Keepers. I have a room full of scrapbooking supplies and I really just want to start using them instead of always buying new. I've pulled out the journal cards from Studio Calico. They're pretty old, as well as that die cut package from Studio Calico. I want to say they're from like 2012 or 2013, one maybe from 2014. And that's a picture of my daughter and I just printed it on my Canon selfie. And then that is a pink paisley Hello Sunshine package of die cuts. I'm mainly using Studio Calico and some pink paisley. I'm going to trim down my photo to a 4x4 square. And this is a photo that was actually taken at my oldest son's family dinner for his birthday. He just turned 17, and someone captured my daughter and I laughing, and I just absolutely love that picture and wanted to go ahead and get it scrapbooked. I'm actually going to scrapbook with this kit several pictures from that night so they kind of all flow through the album together, but I don't always do that. Sometimes you can have two totally different pages side by side, just because that was what I wanted and how I wanted to scrapbook them. So I am just trying to find some papers to layer behind the photo, and sometimes in my layering I just free cut them like I am today. Sometimes I use my trimmer, sometimes I'll use die cuts or my die cutting machine. It really just depends on how much time I have, what I'm in the mood for, and things like that. So I'm going to use that Love and Adore You page for my background. I do staple these together here. I sometimes do that, and the bad thing is I forget to go back, and on this layout I forget to go in and put a little adhesive in there in case the staple ever comes out or anything like that. It has no adhesive, but that's okay. So I'm cutting the branding strip off the bottom of that page, and it does start down low when I start doing more layering papers behind the photo there, but I do eventually move it up. I'm sorry, I'm learning the process of trying to keep it all in camera focused, and so I thought this would be easy to do. I think it's the editing that and keeping it all in camera and thinking about that while you're trying to scrapbook. So, but I think I'll get the hang of it. It may just take a little bit of time. So I'm cutting some just background layers and trying to get an idea of what I want to do. It's kind of funny because I'll go through and I'll cut out layers and I'll lay it all out, but then when I go to actually put my page together, I often change things up. So, and in this case I actually like the way I changed it up. Sometimes I can't ever get it exactly how I wanted it unless I take a picture of it, which I sometimes do if there are a lot of layers. And I think I've walked away to get some distress ink here. So just a little bit about myself. I am a mom of 5 kiddos, and so there never seems to be a lack of photos to scrapbook, plus we have 3 dogs. So that's often what you will see are my kids, our family, and some of our dogs. So I'm using the Black Soot by Tim Holtz distress ink, and I'm going to eventually go around everything. I decided I was going to cut down the background paper, so I trim off a 1/2 inch on 2 sides, and then I'm going to put the black little X and O page for the background behind it. And I do cut the middle out of that page just so I can use it again. I don't always do that, especially if it's a page I don't think I'll really use, but this one I thought I would. And I don't have the full paper collection for the love notes. I would like to get as many layouts as I can out of this collection. So maybe I've run off again. I'm not really sure. I guess this is where I need to cut some of the video out and do a better job editing. So I'm gonna try. I try to scrapbook daily, at least several times a week, and I'm gonna try to do videos as often as I can. So be looking forward to that, and hopefully they will improve as time goes on and I will get better at the editing and things like that. So I'm just curious, how long do you like a scrapbook process video? Do you like music? Do you like the talkovers? Just things like that, just trying to get a feel. I know I've been watching the scrapbook videos for years now, and I've had a channel, I just haven't put any videos up. So just curious on some of your thoughts. And I do run out of my ATG gun tape here, and I've got to order some more. So you'll see several different adhesives kind of come into play, but I usually order mine from the Tape Jungle. So I need to do that. Hopefully they'll be having a sale here soon. And of course I decided to ink up after I've already have them stapled together. But that is the nice thing with stapling, is you're able to lift the corners up and slide stuff in or ink the corners. So I'm going to ink everything up, and then I'll begin laying the paper down. So as I start laying it all down, I realize that it really needs some more papers in the layer to kind of ground it. And so I do pull out a piece of the middle here in just a minute and put it down on bottom, but I guess I've really run away again. I'm so sorry. So just oh, here I came back. I guess I was looking for some different glue, because I think I ran out of the little blue adhesive too. I think that's what it was. So I'm going to start piecing this together, and this is where I realized that that flower paper kind of gets lost in the background. And so I glue that part down, and then I go, oh, it needs something because it's just not popping for me, and my eye's not drawn there. And so that's where I take that middle section and put it down. And then I was trying to decide if I was going to line it all up, or if I was going to have kind of the rough edges there. And I quickly decide that it needs to line up on one side, and then I realize on the right hand side you'll see me cut the paper. I end up cutting the paper at an angle, which I really like, because I felt like it kind of draws your eye up to the picture, which is what I want to do. I want the picture to shine. I enjoy scrapbooking. I enjoy the process. I will never be caught up on all my photos that I have, because I seem to take an abundance of photos. But I do simply enjoy the process and think it is sheer relaxation to get to scrapbook. And sometimes I stay up really late scrapbooking or reading, it just depends. But this, I just put one of the vellum pockets from the Studio Calico, their journaling cards, and on that pocket at the bottom it says, "This life is simply amazing." You can't really see it there. And now I've opened up the Pink Paisley Hello Sunshine die cut pack, and I'm pulling out any potential die cuts that I might use, especially in that pocket. And so it takes me just a minute to do that. And whatever I don't use on this layout, I do or will use on a couple of the future layouts. I was just going to look. This pink paisley pack is from 2014. The journaling cards from Studio Calico are from 2013. So that's really what I'd like to do here the next few months, is just pull out a collection, kind of make my own kit, and see how many pages I can get out of it, and just kind of shop in my own room, because I have so much to shop from that I don't need anything else. I actually haven't bought any of the new fall stuff other than Stampin' Up! And Lawn Fawn. But I've seen quite a few things that I really enjoy in other people's process videos. I've had several scrapbook subscriptions in the past, and before summertime I canceled all my subscriptions, and so I've kind of missed them, and so just wondering what y'all, what subscription you really enjoy, or do you think I should look back into? I really like ones where they make their own paper and products. It doesn't all have to be made by them, but I like having things that aren't just things I could go buy or buy online, which I have to buy everything online now because all of my local scrapbook stores have closed where I live, which makes me very sad. We have Hobby Lobby and Michael's, which I still love both of those places, but it's not quite the same of just going into a store for scrapbooking and having all the latest, greatest paper lines that you could touch and see and all of that. So if you have any recommendations for subscriptions for scrapbooking, that would be great. I do receive the Cocoa Daisy travel journals, Dory, and I do my journaling and planning that way, and I totally enjoy that. So I've pulled out all the hearts from the pink paisley Hello Sunshine, and I'm putting them in that vellum pocket, and I'm going to use that beside the picture there. That Best Ever is from Hobby Lobby, and I think I picked it up. It was on clearance when I picked it up, and it may be a Heidi Swap. I'm not really sure, but I think that may be who it is. I thought about putting the title to the right there of the photo, kind of on top of that pocket, cutting it and putting it up there, but then I quickly realized it was too much and that would not work. Those tabs came from the pink paisley set, die cut set, and I really thought, oh, I'll put a tab. I was going to staple the top to close it, and then put a tab at the top of the pocket. And I love the love tab at the top of the picture, and so with the smile on top of the pocket, it didn't really flow well because it said love smile, and so I changed it to today, and it said love today, so it seemed to flow a little better. And I'm just playing around with a couple little die cuts I still had out. I'm going to attempt to make a cluster here at the top. Those pendants came from the Studio Calico die cut set, but I didn't really like them up there, even though they're the same color. I just didn't think they looked very good, so I decided to cut some of the paper strips and branding strips down for layering purposes to make a little cluster up at the top. And that's usually the way I scrapbook. If I just have one or two photos, I try to keep that triangle effect, but sometimes I put more than two photos, and so it's kind of just a page of photos because there's quite a bit I want to document. Now with my son's birthday coming up, or not coming up, it's already passed, but with the photos that I'm going to document, I will probably use a pocket page for some of the photos because there's just too many. So I'll do that in a layout probably coming up. So I'm going to ink up everything after I have the pendants cut, and as I start to lay it out, I realized that the top pink strip was too short, so I'm going to have to go cut another one. And when I do end up angling the pink strip. I put it up there and realized it's too long, and I decided to angle it. And Again, I think it kind of brings the eye back down. It kind of focuses it back down to the photo. And I really like the little cluster at the top. I end up using the Smile tab that I had pulled out. And then the little blue heart I add on top of the tab. And I think I pull out my Tombow mono adhesive and use that up there. So I'm going to start gluing. There I'm stapling together the journal pocket. And I pull out my Rip and Tear tape from Stampin' Up. I love Stampin' Up products. I was a demonstrator and then I kind of let it slide where I kind of got out of it for a little bit, and I've had to get back into it because I love now that they have the polymer stamps and that they're creating more die cuts to go along with their stamps. So I don't know, I just simply enjoy their products. And that new Rip and Tear tape is wonderful, wonderful stuff. You'll see I apply it to put down this vellum pocket, and I end up actually putting it too far up, and I was afraid you'd be able to see it. And so I put it down. I realized you can see the tape, and so I try to peel it back off, and it actually does pull off of this vellum pocket, but normally once you stick down that tape, you're kind of stuck with it because it's pretty strong. So it makes it nice to hold it down, but you got to make sure before you stick it down that you really want to stick it there, because it will not come off without tearing your project usually. So, I'm going to put that there and glue down my photo, and then I'm going to work on putting the title down, which I do. I know it has adhesive on the back of that Best Ever title, but I do add some Tombow to the back of it just to ensure that it stays stuck down, because I've gone back through some of my albums and some of my thickers and letters are in the bottom of the page protectors because they seem to slide off without a little extra glue on them. One day I will go back and glue things back where they need to be. So I think I've gone to get some of my India ink here, and when I go to open it up, it is all dried up and all completely gone. I get those little stoppers from either Dollar Tree or just like a 3-pack at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and that bottle was completely empty, and I think the stopper was stopped up, so I did have a second bottle that I'm attempting to open. It takes me just a minute, and I have to get a brand new stopper out until I can clean out the old one. So I put a couple of drops around. I love India ink. I love how it gives a raised effect, almost like an enamel dot. But it does make it's not something that once it's down, it's down. There's no covering up the black India ink. This is where I realized my stopper is not going to work, so I have to go grab another one. It's usually the splatters that I make a mess with when I'm trying to do the splatters, which I do the 3 dots around, and then I come back and I put some splatters down. And I do end up, sometimes I'll mix in enamel dots with my dots I put down. It just depends on the mood I'm in, the look I'm going for, what I feel in the moment. And so I guess I'm covering up the photo. So I'm going to just put some splatters, kind of help bring it all together. And then I decide it needs a date on the stamp, and so I pull out, I think it's a Heidi Swap date stamp, and it says loved with the date and has some arrows on it. And so Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me through this. I know it was a little bit longer, and hopefully next time I'll cut some more out and make it a little bit shorter. Please subscribe and let me know what you think or ways that I can make a better video. I would love any feedback from it. I totally enjoy scrapbooking and would love to share the journey with everyone. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.